You know, skateboarding to me is an analogy or an anomaly to life, is I believe that the thing with success is that we prevent it. And the thing that prevents success from happening is fear. With skateboarding especially, where did fear come into play? Because you created like 100 different Tony Hawk moves. You're a creator, an innovator, and a legend. But where did fear come in, and at what age, or if at all?
Well, it was always present. I think I was able to recognize my limitations in some ways, but also it's just more fear of failure. I think it's more like, yeah, you don't want to fail in front of people. You don't want to let yourself down, so to speak. And skating is the quickest education in let that go. Perseverance and determination is key in skating. And the stuff that you'll try hundreds, thousands of times, maybe just to get it once. And it all depends on if you're in the mindset like it's worth it for that. And it always was for me. I wasn't afraid to get hurt, and I wasn't afraid of failure, and that really was to my advantage. And I didn't realize it at the time because I went through a string of injuries that like my parents were concerned. I was consistently getting hurt, and yet I would never quit.
Let's talk about not quitting, because one of the problems with athletes who are entrepreneurs, and you are truly a successful businessman, is that we don't know when to quit. Sometimes we ride a business like we ride a board.
I think it's more about the stakes too. You can use that lesson. That lesson definitely transcends skating. Like, there are certain things that I tried growing up that were far more dangerous than the other tricks that I was trying. And so the risk factor was huge. And so I did know when to quit because I just couldn't take it physically anymore. You know, there were a few tricks that I did through my life that was like, all right, that, you know, if this goes wrong one more time, it could be over. And the same can be true of business. Like, you could have a business that you really are passionate about, and it fails consistently to the point where you're broke.
It's interesting, like, you're a guy that I think of and I really relate this find your frequency. If I was gonna ask you today, what is that frequency today where you think, hey, you know, this is where I'm a maverick?
I guess my frequency is that I'm a passenger, and I'm thankful for all this, and come along with me. Another example of skateboarding, it teaches you humility, and you know, you go out in front of so many people and fail over and over. That teaches you a sense of humility. But also, I grew up in a time when my style of skating was considered very uncool, and so I had to fight for acceptance.
When did the transition happen? Because you became a great businessman and entrepreneur, and you know, you started your own companies, you really branded yourself well, and you built a sport. In fact, your own charity, the Tony Hawk Foundation, is about truly building your sport and helping others learn those skills, knowledge, and desire that you had. You give low-income, like 500 skate parks around the country.
Yeah.
You know, it fits in line. When did that transition occur?
It was around the time that my video game was released. Suddenly, there was this recognition of my name that sort of went way beyond skateboarding, and then a lot of times went way beyond me as a person. And it became like my name was a, you know, for lack of a better word, a property, a franchise. Yeah. And then it was like, oh, wait a second, this is a business.
What legacy does Tony Hawk want to leave?
I hope mostly someone that raised the awareness of skateboarding as a positive activity or positive influence for kids, and something more global in terms of skate facilities and the recognition of skateboarding. Skating there are seeds planted all over. I mean, I've been in recent years to Ethiopia, to Cambodia. There are thriving skate scenes in these countries because someone came and just took the incentive and was like, here's a skateboard, here's a couple of little ramps, and this is what's possible. And they took it and it spread like wildfire. And I would rather know that my influence helped to grow that in a much bigger way in terms of the unlikely places. That's more exciting to me as a legacy.